was in an accident and say, hey, it's not my fault. It is your fault. You're registered to it. Your name, your license, your serial number, it's your fault automatically, period. In New York State, we like to put people on trial for stupidity. New York Giants football player, Plaxico Burress. Dumbass was in New York City. He had an illegal weapon concealed on his body. It went off. Hit him in the leg. Now, in addition to having a gunshot wound in his leg, he's going to be a convicted felon. New York State mandates that if you are caught with an illegal firearm, you are going to prison for 3 years minimum, no questions. Depending on what else you did, you may go to prison longer. Stupidity, robbery, assault, whatever you did. They may add on to your prison sentence, but you're going away for 3 years minimum. So it's always your responsibility to make sure you know where it is and that it's safe. Do you live alone? Do you live with other adults like I do? If you live alone with other adults and you choose to keep your gun unlocked or loaded, that's probably not a big deal. Probably not. Do kids come over your house? Neighbors, nieces and nephews, grandchildren? Kids your wife babysits? Kids your niece plays with sometimes? Do they come over the house to play with you or sit in your living room, watch your TV? Do you entertain barbecues? Do you entertain community events? If kids come to your home, when the kids come over, the gun is locked up. Perfect example. Last year, my brother from New Jersey was in Yankee Stadium with my nephews. Yankee Stadium is about a half hour from here, give or take a few minutes. He was coming over. This was unlocked. Gun lock comes with the set. New York State mandates that you will have a gun lock. The dealer will give you one for free if he has to. I took this gun lock. I put it, the gun lock is supposed to go around the trigger, it's supposed to go in between the magazine well and around, but you can also lock the case with it. That's what I did. I locked the case, put the key in my pocket, the gun was in the bedroom. My nephews were out here anyway. They didn't go in my bedroom, but God forbid they did, God forbid they found it. It was locked up, I had the key, and I would have beat the shit out of them for touching it. Because they're not supposed to touch it. It's mine, not theirs. They don't touch it without my permission, bottom line, period. They didn't ask anyway. I don't think they don't have it. They will now, though. They see it on the internet. So now, maybe you should have it locked up in a safe. Maybe you should have a locking safe cabinet. It's worth it. $5,000-$6,000 for a safe is cheaper than $500,000 for a lawyer when you put on trial for something stupid, like involuntary manslaughter, negligent homicide, stupid shit like that. And you will be charged, make no mistake about that. They have another case, it's a safe about yay high, fingerprint, live fingerprint, so I can't cut your finger off and open it. Take your finger, put your finger on, case opens up, guns come out. Put them back in, close it up, it's done. You don't have to worry about the kid getting a hold of the key. If I was going to buy a safe, and I guess I will eventually, I'm going to buy more guns eventually, I would get a combination safe because the combination is in my head. I don't have to worry about putting the combination in my pocket, putting the combination under my bed, putting the combination in a jewelry box. It's in my head. Only I know the combination. Bottom line. Nice Smith & Wesson or Wells Fargo safe. The kid needs dynamite to blow it off. For the burglar needs dynamite to blow it off. A lot of dynamite. So, that's what you have to think about. Do you want to keep it loaded? You don't have to keep it loaded. You don't have to keep it unloaded. It's your decision. But if you choose to keep it loaded, know that it's loaded. And when you take it out, like I showed you before, remember to unload it before you hand it to somebody to check it out. That's a big problem people have. You forget to unload the gun, your finger gets caught in the trigger. Here you go, buddy. Boom. Accident. Lost toe, lost knee, lost life. Things happen. Do you have children in your house? I said it before. First things first, you have children that live in your house, teach them about the gun. Take it out, show it to them, just like I'm doing now. Show them what it is. Show them how to aim it. Show them how to clean it, dismantle it, whatever you want to do with it. Show them how it loads, unloads, pull it, let them put it in the floor, or put it in a couch, or put it in a wall and pull the trigger. Kill their curiosity. Because if you just hide it from them and say this is bad, remember your parents' porno magazines? Remember beer? Remember cigarettes? Your mother and father said it was bad. As soon as they turn around, you went and looked at it. Kids are that way with guns. You tell your kid, don't touch the gun, it's bad. As soon as you walk out of the room, he wants to touch it. It's better he touch it in front of you than touch it not in front of you. Do you want to teach your kid how to use a gun? Okay. First thing you do is you talk to a firearms expert or trainer or a gun dealer or a police officer, and you discuss the laws in your hometown. Some cities will let a 4-year-old girl use an AK-47 fully automatic, no problem. Other states like New York and California in particular are very strict about guns, with children, with people, with everything, licensing, registration, bullshit like that. Check those laws, because you don't want to just go to a shooting range, bring a kid, and end up getting yourself a fine, end up getting yourself a little community service or jail time. You don't want to do that. So check to see if it's okay. When it is okay, you're going to go to the shooting range, give the kid a magnum and say, here, have fun, I'll be back in an hour? No, you're not going to say that. What are you going to say? You're going to get out of the truck with the kid, you're going to watch him. Remember BB guns? I had a Red Ryder BB gun, I still got it in my closet. BB gun, parental supervision. Real gun. Children are attracted to and can operate firearms. Supervise the children with the gun. Watch them. Make sure they do what they're supposed to do. Make sure they don't do what they're not supposed to do. Make sure they're safe. Make sure they're capable. Make sure they're not intimidated by it. Make sure they're not fooling around with it. What kind of kid do you have? Is your kid smart? Is your kid a dumbass? Seriously, ask yourself that question. Does your kid behave? Are the cops coming over your house every month? Does the principal call you to tell you your kid's been suspended twice a month? Does your kid have anger issues? Does he go to his room and beat the shit out of things or throw things across the room, break stuff? You got to think about these things. Because if you teach your kid how to use a gun, if that kid has a problem, you've invited a school shooting. That's how it happens. You teach a kid how to use a gun, he's got a lot of psychological problems, next thing you know, you're on the news. It happens. So make sure your kid is personally responsible, mentally capable, stuff like that. Things of that nature. Is that all? Yeah. I guess it is. Are there any questions?